Yeah, so I think initially, I've talked to like hundreds and hundreds of basically people in the creative space in order to kind of understand how to best build rubber band for them, right? And in that process, I learned a lot about like initially what their concerns were, which were like way back when 2 years ago, people were really worried that like this AI tech would be able to do everything that they ever need to do, right? And over time, people started modifying their approach to things. It's more like a tool, and it allows you to get basically from point A to point B a lot quicker. But you still need to know where you're going. So I think that's where art is trending towards, and there becomes a lot more benefit in having like a lot of knowledge on how to get somewhere, and also kind of like having a proper vision on the asset that you're trying to develop. So I think execution has gotten a lot easier, but with that, the importance of ideation has grown a lot.
Okay, this is really an interesting question. So this is where I kind of go back to that idea of my whole philosophy around design. When it comes to AI, what I do is I teach creative professionals how to understand and integrate generative AI in the creative workflow while retaining the human element. Okay, the human element is all the knowledge and experience that we bring to the table. It's the thing that lets it be us. It's not just, hey, ChatGPT, write me copy and copy paste. We're really wanting to engage with it as we did before, so it becomes an accessory. And I call it you're either amping or you're ramping with AI. Amping is like a guitar, you plug it into an amplifier and it's going to make it louder. It's just going to multiply the benefits of what you're getting from the guitar without the amp. Ramping is the speed up of process of engagement or learning. So the notion is to use AI as an amp and a ramp.
True innovation touches the soul and sparks change.
Creativity has no bounds when powered by AI.
Step into greatness and shape tomorrow.
Enter the Best of AI Video 2024 competition.
And show the world the depth of your imagination.
Keeping the thought that AI is a tool that you can use, then it's a very powerful tool in the way that it makes you be more efficient. You're able to use an external kind of entity that can be um, corresponding to what you want. So, as a creative people, as a creative person, as a designer, when I try to start any creative process and I need to kind of move back and forth with an idea and then to be able to make it feasible and real, then one of the major steps is to get the idea out there, like I said before. And with AI, the process is a bit more efficient. It gives you more capabilities to work, um, maybe even the same with the same process that you had before, but then you're able to do it more efficiently, and then you're able to literally do it faster, which gives you more time to develop the idea and to make sure that you are reaching um, what you wanted, or um, searching for a better idea or how to make it better. So I think AI tools really help out in that way and help out making your creative process more efficient. Um, Anything like any technological breakthrough can have that, can make that happen. And I want to remind that AI is technology, but also the will is considered to be a technology. So everything that is a tool that you use and what didn't exist before is new technology that you can use to be more efficient. So in creative processes, I think that AI is very successful in getting involved.
So AI has massively changed my approach to creativity. So as a short filmmaker, I used to make a short film every 3 years. take me to iterate the idea, to source the funding, gather a crew together, and produce a film. Now I can make short films, every month if I want to. It helps from iteration with LLMs acting as a sort of writer's assistant, helping you bounce ideas off of. Then you can generate your storyboards through, image generation, and then straight into your video stuff. If you don't like what you've got, you can go back and reshoot at any time. Your budget is not a problem. So it's completely liberated me in terms of being a visual creative. Also, it's brought back a sense of
Oh yeah, yeah, it
fun
has. Oh, big
and
time.
play that has been missing for so long. You can't. I used to play with video cameras, but you can't play with the set and crew and all
Yeah.
that. It's too expensive. So it's being able to play, and I think that's a really important part that we tend to forget as adults and get lost in this doom and gloom and seriousness. And that is both therapeutic to play, but it's also enriching. It makes you open-minded. Your brain is learning stuff all the time, but also you're finding creative outlets at the time. So even if I wasn't doing this creatively for profit, which I am doing, I would be doing this as a personal thing, as a way of de-stressing and enriching myself creatively. So it's massively changed my approach creatively, and that's why I'm so bullish and positive about it, because for me it's been a really, really positive experience, and I hope other people get involved in it, because it supercharges you creatively.
Feel like I have now two of me at the same time. It has allowed me to get past bottlenecks. It has allowed me to see insights that I could not perceive beforehand. It has allowed me to build more than I ever could. It's astronomical the time allocation I've saved because of utilizing various tools. It has basically given me a level of freedom that I didn't think was possible, and I still feel like I'm just tapping into it now. This is an iceberg that there's still so many more layers to understand and unpack through my life and business that I can really automate and systematize to the point where I can fail upwards comfortably and just keep creating and not worry about it. So honestly, time and freedom is some of the biggest things I've got from using AI.
Oh, I think before I used to be more like tool oriented. I used to be obsessed with all of my pencils and brushes and the erasers that I was doing when I was
Oh, you're
doing
doing comics. Wow, cool.
But now, yeah, dude. I used
You've
to
done so
really
many
be passionate
things.
about
Like,
it.
by
I
the
mean,
way,
that's
like
what-
we were speaking off camera. Do you want to just say some of the things you've been doing in your life?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm 40 years old, so I've had time to do a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, I think if I had more time in my life, I would pick up dancing and singing. I think that's like, if you're not dancing and singing in your life, you're missing out. And I think the development with AI art is that you asked me like, how has that changed my creativity? I went way more from like focusing on my technique, because it used to require me a lot of technique to like create these characters and scenes, to think about in terms of styles. So now I'm like more free to explore different styles and combinations of styles. And that's really
that's what I
exciting.
like about Midjourney the most, actually. I'm just so blown away almost every time I use it. I'm like, oh my god, I can do that now too as well. Cool.
It's amazing. Just if they ever drop the video model, it's
I can't wait. They keep teasing it every meeting they do. They're like, yeah, it's coming. We're working on this. Working on that.
When you're trying to develop a concept, or you're trying to drive some sort of like newness, or break some sort of hole, or fill some sort of hole, I'm sorry, it becomes this, it becomes really challenging for somebody like me who's trying to design and have all this output and all this creativity, and some days just don't go your way. So, well, yep, ChatGPT to the rescue, Claude to the rescue, Midjourney to the rescue. I think you can easily start to really take a lot of components that you love and sort of like meld them together and create this like amazing puzzle that really jumpstarts that creative process. Whereas before, I mean, you would go to this website, or you would head over to a gallery or a museum or whatever it may be. Not to say those things aren't good, but with generative AI or LLMs, you are really able to sort of use them as an assistant to really get you a little bit further in the process to start that jumping off point and get really excited about what
And
you're
have fun.
doing. I know that, you know, and we've talked about this. I've never been more creative
Me
than
too.
I am
Me too.
now. It's really gotten me excited than it ever has in like the 20 plus years I've been designing product. So I think it's just really a tool that I've adopted that has really created like just a whole new outlet for me on those days that I'm just not feeling it.
Yeah. Because
So
even when you're not
it's really
feeling it,
amazing.
you know, just changing the prompt slightly differently is like, oh wow, you can do that, you know.
Correct. It's like your workflow and the way that you sort of start, you know, that creative process. It's really just a completely different landscape than it ever was before. Like you can, you know, throw a couple different print and patterns together, see what you come up with. Like, you know, it's like sometimes it's like playing a game of roulette, right? But I think what's really amazing about that is that sometimes even hallucinations in AI can be a good thing. It gives you ideas that you would have never ever thought of. You're like, wow, I wouldn't have even thought of this, you know, these components together, but this works and this is going to be really successful. And I think that's where all the newness that we need, even in fashion, like new fabrics, new textures, new piecing, graphics, print, whatever it is, like this is where that newness will come from. Like it'll be almost like a spark. And I think especially in our industry right now, we need our product to stand out and look different and have that excitement to a customer.
AI has changed my approach to creativity. One, because I know that I can map something out, and I'd normally map something out, sleep on it, come back to it, you know. But now I've got that creative companion that can just sort of help me brainstorm and help me think of things in alternative ways, and I find that's speeding up my ideation process. Two is the challenge of communicating. So often as a creative, you'll have an idea and it's not something you're going to do solely by yourself. So you've got the challenge then of accurately relaying that vision, that idea to other people, and you're relying on text to communicate a creative vision, whether it's for a video or a photograph and what have you. Now with AI, I kind of get 80%, 90% there and say, actually, this is what I'm thinking. This is the color grading. This is the storyboard. And you can do that relatively quickly. And so while it's maybe a bit time consuming at the beginning, you're saving weeks and months at the end of the process because you started off with everybody fully understanding the vision, as opposed to spending a month or so with everybody giving their idea of what the vision is. We're all starting at the same point now. That's really, really good. So that's helping a heck of a lot. And two, the visions can be bigger because you're not constrained by budgets anymore. So in creative industries, it doesn't matter what level you're at. I've done couture, I've done supermarket clothing, and I've done ads for kind of the whole spectrum. Everyone is working some sort of budget. They've got some vision that they want to do and they haven't got the budget for. Whereas AI, because it's bringing the cost of things down, I'm not seeing as many budget constraints, which is quite exciting. Because what I learned early on from people that were mentoring me is that anything is possible. It all comes down to cost. So people say, oh, that can't be made. It can always be made, but it's down to cost. And now some of the cost is stripped out. So we're going to get more exciting stuff. And I'm definitely more out there for sure. I found that I've transitioned from lots of different things or built on lots of different things. So when I didn't know photography and I'd have to pay someone to do my photography, there was a budget constraint of this is how much money I've got. And then they would say, well, this is what you can have for your money. Then suddenly I learned photography and I didn't have that constraint anymore. And it's likewise, you get some really skilled people that they can cut a garment that's only got one seam in it, but it looks like it's got loads. And because of the way things are manufactured, that makes a huge difference to the cost and stuff as well. And now we've got more tools to be able to do these things, and it's nice not to have to compromise the creative vision. And I think we're just going to see more and more just beautiful things.